Hello, hello. Yay. I love our videos that start off, especially when they're brand new listings. Love that listing in the reserve. If you have any questions, let us know and we'll let you in. We'll let you buy it. Just kidding. This is Rabell Realty Group podcast. I'm Kristin Rabell.
And I'm Rebecca Johnson.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We're excited to get started. Always love that Monday market moment.
All right, let's take a look at the month of May so far on the 4 markets that we are currently servicing.
Look at these numbers.
So it looks
many
like
numbers.
Yeah. So for May 2021, we'll start with Alachua County. In a nondescript order, they're just A, so we'll go there first. It looks like active listings that are still active that have come on as of May 1st. There's 185 of those in the residential and attached category. For pending home sales in Alachua County as of May 1st through today, you have 383, and then closed 281. So holding steady, still moving upwards.
1, 2, 3 80s. Look at that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 80s. Or 1, 3 2, but you know. So yeah, these numbers always look similar right around this time.
Oh yeah.
In this year.
And then let's see, moving over, it looks like St. Augustine is up here on top. So they have, since May 1st, 54 active listings, residential homes and attached units, 33 pending, and 45 have closed so far. And that's just the small area of St. Augustine proper, like the beaches area kind of. Ocala is looking strong. Look at you guys with 511 active listings. 560 have pended this month alone. That's pretty incredible. And then 510
incredible.
Have closed. But not to be outdone, you got old Tampa Bay over there, which is the largest. Let's give them some credit. They're the largest of the areas. I think there's 18,000 agents in that board, so it's a pretty sizable area. They have 1,111 active listings as of May 1st through today that have hit the market that are still available. So if you're out there, you're looking, we've got some great agents that would be happy to get you in those homes. Pending sales, you've got 1,531 have gone under contract in the Tampa Bay area since May 1st through today, and then closed, you've got 1,200.
So what do you think about this? Any thoughts on it? Look at Ocala. It's like if they're closing 512 or 10 a month this month so far, and they only have active 111, it looks like they have 1 month worth of inventory, and they're pending over that 1 month.
Well, one of these months, I need to take each one of them and show what's entirely active still, because we're only looking at what's come on the market right now since the beginning of the month.
So each month, I'm just picking Ocala because it's kind of like the middle of all of them. I mean, it's half of Tampa, I guess you could say twice as much as Gainesville, Alachua. St. Augustine, it's such a small area. That's a harder one to come up with. So I pick Ocala, which includes Marion County, so not just Ocala proper. But, each month, it looks like the same amount of listings are coming on as the same amount of closed. And those pending, that 60 extra, 50 extra, are really just left over from what's still on the market. So
they probably have some residual that takes a little longer to sell, or sits there a little bit longer. So they probably have a 1.5 to.
You could say the same about Tampa, because with the 1,111 and then the 1,200, that's kind of close also.
Everybody's probably looking at about a 1.5 worth of inventory supply.
So that's really what we've been talking about this whole time. Coming on this podcast for 2021 is that a month and a half. It has not really changed. So the market, according to these numbers, isn't changing a lot. We're still seeing low inventory, same amount of sales, lots of pended. All of those extra pended are either things that are still on the market taking a little bit longer because not everything's selling within a week, like everyone's talking about, or it's new construction taking a little bit longer. But the closed sales are still the new construction, that are closing at the same time, because they are finally closing. We'll get into that later. But, here we are, same place where we were. Do you have any predictions for us?
I think we'll see a market change before the end of the year. I don't think it'll be a huge swing or anything, but I think in the fall we'll see some correction. I don't think buyers are going to keep paying
these exorbitant prices.
I think they're going to push back a little, kind of like what, I know we'll get into that later, but kind of like what I was reading the construction people were like, we're not going to pay these high lumber prices. Right. So I think we'll see some pushback. Will they be successful? I don't know, because California is like, hey man, I'm over here with some cash.
Yeah, I think that's our problem in Florida. We're an open state. Problem, and it's a good and bad. We're an open state. Gainesville is a small town. Tampa's a #1 city right now. Didn't you? I mean, you shared that. Yeah, Tampa's the #1 city of Florida.
Gainesville was voted one of the best places to live.
Yes.
Tampa was like an honorable mention. They were like 3rd or whatever.
And then everybody wants to live at the beaches. The beaches, St. Augustine.
Sorry, St. Augustine, you weren't even on the list.
You've got the second home, the investment home, and the actual home, the homestead home. And then Ocala, there's so much industry there, and so many companies are coming in there. Same with Alachua County, that all of these are really hot spots, truthfully, in different ways. And Florida in general. So you've got a ton of California investors and just buyers moving out of there, coming to Florida. You also have New York. And then, for the smaller cities, you've got like Gainesville, St. Augustine, Ocala, especially Alachua County and Marion County, Gainesville and Ocala. You have people coming from Atlanta, 5 hours away, and then Miami, 5 hours away, and they're coming middle of the state where there's, seemingly cheaper homes, but not really. So it's raising our prices and keeping our industry going, our real estate industry going. Mm-hmm. So when is that change going to come? I don't know. When you have a lot of cash buyers, it makes it hard to lower the price, because they're actually, shockingly enough right now, keeping the prices the same, this higher prices, or raising the pricing.
Yeah, they're not coming in under. It's not jumping quite as much, but it's definitely still jumping. It's hopefully it slows a little bit.
We should do some numbers of price, the average price for each market.
We could do that. We could actually do that.
I think that'll be interesting and fun.
I think Florida Realtors should, if they have not already, they should have their quarter report out for the first quarter of the year.
Right, now that we're in almost June. They usually put it out in June, honestly. They're usually about 2 months behind, so we'll have that, Good numbers. Numbers are always fun to look at.
So,
right. So what do we have coming up?
We have
numbers
design
over
trend.
to design.
Yep.
Yay.
Our favorite.
Japandi. Like a panda with, no. Japandi, what a fun style. So everybody knows that IKEA, Swedish, this iconic style has stuck around for a really long time. And then the Japanese style is, kind of similar to it. I think it's very light and bright, very clean lines. Not a lot of color, so it's very warm and bright, though, at the same time. I guess bright can be warm because the sun is warm. But I love this style. What do you think about it?
I like it. I like natural looking things.
Plus, there was that mid-century modern style, which was that very Scandinavian style.
Yeah, that
kind of sticks with it. Well, but it's the clean lines. So I think this is just, everybody was into that mid-century modern style. So this is just like bringing more into it.
I think that it brings natural elements. Like the colors are, like the mid-century was hard for me because everything was like it had a very specific kind of set of colors, and that's always hard for me.
So this is taking away those specific colors, but there's not really a lot of color in it from everything I've looked at.
Nope, I love it.
But I love, I grew up with my great aunt lived in Japan for 40 years. And so we always have these really cool Japanese motifs all throughout the house. And most of them were, this is a great picture kind of it, but in my grandmother's bathroom, we had this huge globe it was like this paper, globe hanging over the toilet. And this is actually a lot what it looked like. So those paper lanterns, you could say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty.
But that's not just Japandi style, not just these.
No. Yeah. We have other things to show. I just think it's interesting to see, and I don't think farmhouse is going away, at least not in the South, because they love it. But I do think it's nice to see.
Still does that.
Look, according to the little Gen Z people, it's chuggy. I had to explain chuggy to another Gen Zer. I had to explain what that word means, and to my mother. It means out of style or out of date.
Always.
So, I know. When I heard it, I was like, chuggy, what's that? A lot of things are chuggy. Don't look it up. You'll get depressed, especially if you were raised in the 90s and 2000s. They hate everything
those are all
that we do.
Old school anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. But
80s and 90s are kind of a little too wild.
But yeah, I think it's refreshing to see. I'm like, this doesn't have big, heavy drapes. It doesn't have a lot of things. I like simplicity, and just because then you can add, like the thing that I see in that picture that was missing
Right
was
here
plants.
is plants. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
We needed plants in the picture, but that way you can accessorize or add color to a room with that, or warmth even. So, but yeah, I like that. Clean.
Minimal, clean, rustic also. Yeah. And then the natural light especially of the Japanese style.
Now, do you think we'll see a comeback? I'm sorry, I'm pointing at the screen. They can't tell.
Oh, yeah. We're looking at what they can see.
Yeah,
they don't realize
the
that.
wood cabinets back there that are kind of like a honey color. Do we think we're going to see that style come back?
I don't know. I mean,
I thought it was making a comeback because it was in a Pigeon Parade home.
There you go.
2 years ago, but in Tioga.
When I say I don't know, it's because white consistently comes back. But we're in Gainesville, and I know I mentioned this morning. Gainesville's always like 2 or 3 years behind. Now, with the internet, bringing and HGTV, bringing people what's going on in the other world, they'll bring that in. But our builders do get a little nervous. Skinny jeans, 1990s.
I think skinny jeans are still fine. They're still selling them in the store, Carrie, so they're not
Thank
chuggy.
Goodness, 'cause I love those.
I'm nixing the chuggy on the skinny jeans. Nobody wants to wear Jankos or Jinkos. What were they again?
Jankos, yeah.
You remember like
Those
where
were
they
90s.
look like? Oh, yeah. Well,
You could store a lot in those pockets, though.
yeah, you could fit like a human in there and just hop in the pocket and go to class with somebody. Yeah, so skinny jeans are fine, but yeah.
So I don't know if we'll see this and like you're talking about with the sort of more rustic wood style cabinets. I think it'll have to be a mix first, like people mixing that within their kitchen. Kitchens are so expensive that most people don't like to redo those all the time, so they want to go with something classic. And because think about it. The last 2 years, we've seen a lot of gray or painted cabinets.
I know.
And is that going away again, coming more of these,
At some point, they
wood
always
style.
go away. I mean,
They
I'm
will.
just waiting for the 90s to come back with my hunter green countertop or my burgundy I'm just joking.
Please
that
not,
would be
please
gross.
not.
Remember, all the carpet used to be that color, too.
Yep. I love the countertops that are green still.
Oh, yeah, I have green countertops.
So this is the fun new style that you'll probably be seeing a lot lately. And then you can, she wants jeans with fresh front pockets.
You mean pleats? They make those. They're called mom jeans. I've seen them in Target. They're in the cottage couture
Front pockets
section.
that you can put things in is what she's looking for.
Those are called Jingos,
Those
whatever
have the
they
big
were.
old
from the
pockets
90s.
in the back.
Yeah, but they had some in the front too. You just have to reach down to your ankle to find your keys. We should do a whole segment on home decor and trending clothing that's now considered
I feel like we do that a
chuggy.
lot now. Okay.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Let's do it.
All right, so Japandi, we digress. So
As always.
we're getting the signal that it's time
Thanks
for
for
a quick
playing
break.
with us, girls. Come back. We'll talk more.
My name is Jackie Mercier, and I represent Team Kristin and Rebecca at Rabell Realty Group. Like me, I've been a realtor for 18 years, but I was new to the area, and being on their team helped me learn the area more. The value you've brought to my business is just the accessibility to Kristin and Rebecca. We have morning huddles 3 days a week. We have labs. We have Zoom calls. We have conferences. We have a brain trust on Facebook, and any question we may have is answered in a very timely manner. They're just very accessible. They're very knowledgeable. We are a big family, and we are friends as well as business colleagues. If you want to succeed in real estate, come join Team Kristin and Rebecca.
Oh, look at those realtors back in the day before COVID when they were in the office hanging out.
We just saw Christina. I didn't
we
even
did
recognize
for
her.
the
That
first
girl
time
had
in
a
like
baby.
a year and a half.
I know, has like a
Saw
baby that's
Alyssa
over
in
a
that
year.
video. Yeah, it's good to see. I see Susan all the time. So do you.
Oh,
But
yeah. I see
not
Susan
to
and
say that we're
Jackie.
not excited to see Susan there and Jackie. Yep.
Susan, we're so excited to see you. I can't wait to get out of here and come see you at the office.
Oh, we always love to tease her. Thanks for being on here, girls, and anyone else who's listening. So what's up next?
So we're going to talk about easy ways to light up your listing or your house.
Light up your life.
So
Yeah.
one of the things when you're listing your house is getting it ready to go on the market. And everybody will tell you that lighting is important. Lighting is important for a multitude of reasons. One, everybody's looking for that happy space where they can relax and feel at home. And as humans, we are attracted to light, like moths. Right. No, I'm just joking.
That's true.
Sorry, I don't know. Maybe the coffee was spiked this morning. I'm just full of it. So we'll talk about some easy ways to update your house to get it ready to go on the market. The first one is swapping out dated light fixtures.
Right. So talking again about 1990s or earlier, those old light fixtures.
Chuggy decor.
Those gold-plated light fixtures. Yeah, put in something.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw a gold-plated like lamp at Target. It was one of those that goes
gold
behind
is
your
back
couch.
in, kind of. I mean, it came back in for a
gold,
sec. Yeah, it's a different color gold, though.
Yes, it is.
It's a lighter,
not
muted
that
gold.
brassy stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Get it out. Or there's a lot of things that are dated or that I've read have been dated. I'm not going to call any of them out because Gen Z isn't buying houses, so we're not going to take advice from them just yet. But hello.
Hey, Jose. Thanks for coming on.
But yeah, so updating those light fixtures. So if it looks like it's, from the early 70s or 80s or 90s, first, check with your teenager to see if it's back in style. And if it's not, then put it back up or, put it in the garage. Actually, I throw them on Facebook Marketplace.
There you
You'd be
go.
surprised
That's
what people will come pick up or buy, but I just hate throwing things away like that. But
yeah, this is actually simple. I mean, yes, you might need an
easy.
electrician or a handyman. You can usually do something simple like this, but it's not hard to go look and see what's trending and what looks really good. If you like it, hopefully it is, going to work in the house. And you kind of want to have things that match your house and you want to look at your hardware. And if you're going to swap out, sort of that golden brass look of your lights, you don't have to get too crazy with your light fixture or your fixtures in your bathroom or your hardware, but try not to go like too far out of it to where it does not match at all.
And you have questions, you can always text or email us. We love to look at light fixtures and give advice.
But I mean, just honestly looking on something simple like Home Depot and Lowe's, they're usually copying what's really popular on other lighting websites. And I mean, we love Pottery Barn and a couple of the other bigger stores. I'm sure Carrie could get on here and talk about.
It has a whole thick magazine. You could just look at light fixtures all day. It's great. I love it.
So you can look on these more expensive sites, find your favorites, and usually go find them for cheaper at Home Depot and Lowe's. And not like I'm trying to only sell these big box stores, but it's oftentimes easier to find them there and for a lower price. And you can find them usually in brushed nickel or a bronze or even that more golden, that the lighter golden look that's really popular right now. So but swapping out the dated fixtures is really going to help update your home at a lower cost than like tearing out your kitchen and redoing everything. So
very true. The next one is natural light, and I will speak to this one. So I have a house. So when you have a house that faces certain directions, there are things that you can't do.
Right. Like have natural.
Right. Have a lot of natural light. The other thing that I have is shutters. Thank you, Carrie, for that. Yeah. Another lighting suggestion. So I have shutters, and even though they're always open, it still does have kind of a shadow in the house. So that is one thing I do love.
Yeah,
I do
talk
have
about
some
those shutters because people love. They used to call them plantation shutters, but we'll just go with the southern shutters, right? Plantation shutters. Everybody loves them. They're more expensive. They're beautiful. They're wood, right? But I feel like if you don't have natural light coming in and you are facing the wrong direction, where natural light is not coming in like north or south usually, it's not really a smart thing to get those more expensive plantation shutters because they have the big wood piece in the middle, the wood framing all around, and then you can't really open them perfectly because they're set and you have to open them, and
there's
sometimes
no place to put them,
right, they're in the way. So I would say really think about that before you go into the more expensive plantation southern shutters.
Yep. Mine came with the house.
Right. If they come with the house, that's fine. But I definitely noticed that does not let in a lot of natural light.
Well,
also,
one thing I did was I have honeycomb ones in my nook area. And so they can actually be half up, half down, all these different ways. And so I leave the top half open because nobody can get up there and look in, but we're still getting
the
some
transom
light
part.
in. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, so if you have a transom window and have well, you probably don't want to put curtains all the way or lower than that. But if you have blinds down below, keep those transom windows open so you can have the light up top. And I think people are putting in less of the heavier curtains, as you talked about, and really leaving their, your windows open to bring natural light in. Obviously, if you're facing west and most of your windows are there, you probably want something up just for heat.
Yes.
To hold back the heat. But really nice light curtains hanging, and then you can shut them at night or shut them when it gets really hot. That's a way to bring in natural light, but also keep the heat from, releasing into your home. And I think, having really clean windows to bring in that natural light really helps. And I know you're a proponent for clean windows.
I love it. I do it twice a year. I have a company that comes and cleans it. It's way cheaper than you think it is. If you're interested, you could drop a comment below and we will get you that information. But it is, once I found out what the price was, I was like, why am I spending a day cleaning my own windows? Because they do it better and faster than I could. They're in and out in less than an hour. And they've cleaned the tracks and they clean the tracks on the inside and the outside. Meanwhile, I'm in here all day and I still have streaks and all that. And they'll give you a whole explanation on why they're superior about their water filtration on the windows. But it's, highly recommend it.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Totally.
Nice.
Do it after you pressure wash your house, though. Otherwise, you'll have spots.
Right.
So,
from the pressure washing.
Yes.
All right. What's the next one? Using softer bulbs. All right. What's your thought on this?
I don't use a lot of lamps or lights, but I am assuming that it is brighter and softer and less harsh than, I know there was a period where everybody was using like super bright, like fluorescent, which gives off a weird, in my mind, my opinion, a weird hue. But yeah, light bulbs have evolved so much.
Yes, they really have. You have
lifetime.
Light bulbs, the lumens. You can pick the lumen you want for the square footage of your room, and it'll lighten it correctly. So you have natural lights in there, rather than relying on the windows. But you really have to get into the math of that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like bulbs can be
and
controlled.
then LED lights.
Yes, that drives me crazy.
I love that. Bulbs all the same color. Agreed.
That makes me crazy.
Some are a warm hue and some are a bright hue. Yes, you want all the same color.
Yes, that makes me
especially
crazy.
if you're getting those Edison lights for your all these fancy lighting.
Yeah, because they have
light
an amber
fixtures,
tone
right,
and a bright tone and all these different.
and to make sure those match your other lights. So I think using the softer bulbs it's really more for when people are coming by to view your home, maybe at an open house or broker open, or when they're looking at your homes, you turn on all your lamps, and that's softer than all of your other lights, and it still lights up the room.
Yeah. Yep. Light bulbs, man.
For me, I need bright lights. If I'm reading or if I'm hanging out the house, I like the brighter lights. But that's my preference. So the softer bulbs, not so much. And then layering lights. Yeah, I agree with this 100%.
I absolutely do.
So what I would want to do is put in more can lights, and then also have the hanging lights. I do see that they don't have cans, and they have sort of
like
almost a flush mount, right? And then the lights at each, like your lights above the cabinets, lights under the cabinets, things like that. Those are great, actually, and you can get them installed after the fact, and you can have them either plug in the lights above or below, and a lot of them are LED lights. So I think you can do this in an older kitchens and bathrooms. Josh.
Mad at you about that rat.
Good job, Josh. Smart bulbs are cheaper now, and you can tweak the temperature. There you go. A lot of people were talking about these smarter bulbs are expensive, and the heat they let off is more. It's harsher for. Yeah.
Do you remember when you were a kid and there were like 2 light bulbs? They were clear or they were white.
Yes. Now they have. Going in to buy a light bulb is like terrifying sometimes. You're like, what do I buy?
There's a million different sizes. I have to take the piece in. I'm like, I don't know. I need this. It's a light bulb.
But they do give you options. Maybe too many, but they do give you options now. And like Josh said, they're cheaper. So these were some great ways to, lighten up your house, especially when you're listing it, because that is one of the most important things, I think, other than price and location, right? Is that really showcasing your home for someone else coming in and having great lights in there. And some of you made some really great suggestions, like make sure you have bulbs in, right? And they being the same color.
Same color.
But some of the items some of the things changes you can do to your home to make it brighter for your new buyer. So great topic. All right, we've got a quick new construction update. So Rebecca's like, what? Yeah.
I know nothing.
So we were reading this article. It was more in Texas, and about how there's always a paragraph in a builder's contract that says if prices raise up by a certain percentage, we, the builder, can charge you that. And there was a buyer in Texas who was asked to pay $99,000, $100,000 more for their house, because in the meantime, and now this is not just a spec home. This was a custom home. and they wanted to build it in a certain area, and they had a custom home builder. And usually custom homes take 8 to 12 months, depending on, and you're ordering everything from different places. It's not just, you get 5 choices, you get to choose everything. And usually builders have places where they want you to go, but you could technically go anywhere and buy those and give them to your custom home builder. But the prices had gone up on all of their items that they were purchasing, so much so that they were asked to pay $100,000 more. Now, here's something I read in that article, which was not highlighted, because I do think articles are sent out to, scare people. The builder did offer, because they had to pay, in sections, basically, because they had a construction, draws. So he was giving them all of their money back. So
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, the article actually said that. It did not focus on that. So if you are, because you might be experiencing this as a realtor, as a buyer, as the realtor for the builder, or even as the builder, there are a couple of different options you have, and some of that is based off of what the builder is willing to do. But if the builder is willing to cancel you and give you your money back, yes, that puts you back out on the streets to look for a new home with low inventory. And prices are probably a lot higher, but the building materials for builders are much higher right now, and they are having to do that, and we are seeing that. We've talked about this before, probably even last week, that builders are stalling on building their homes because of the cost of materials. And so the new construction sites that usually would save all of our pricing problems are not around to save them. And buyers are actually being asked to pay for the difference in the cost. Now, not $99,000. That's a lot, but we are seeing that locally.
That's a sensationalized story,
yes,
too.
Exactly.
They knew it would grab headlines, but it's definitely happening on smaller scales.
So if you're seeing that, yes, it's happening. But again, some of these builders, including that one, are offering to give payback the escrow or the down, the amount that they paid up front or in draws back. So hopefully your builder will do that, or you can pay the difference or negotiate that difference. So that's the new construction update. Yay, it's so fun being on site. And then let's end it with your fun story.
All right. So I saw this interesting article in the paper about
the Pied Piper?
The Pied Piper of Chicago. So the city of Chicago, I would love for you all to chime in on this even after we're off the air. You can comment below. How would you feel about this? Their city government decided to procure, and I don't remember if I read it in the article or not, but I'm assuming spay or neuter these cats to help, and then release them out into the city to help mitigate the rat problem that they're having. And I, as a taxpayer, would definitely have had something to say in the city meeting about that. This plan, to me, I can't wait to read how it goes, because I just don't foresee it going well. What do people do when they see cats? They all want to feed them and put food out, and they feel bad for them and love on them. Well, if a cat is eating because you're leaving food out, or there's food in the dumpster, they're probably not going to go chase a rat, right?
So I'll be the devil's advocate.
All right, let's hear it.
So I lived in Philadelphia for a couple years, and I worked on South Street, if you all know Philadelphia, which is a disgusting street, at a bagel shop for a moment. And I was downstairs doing their books and paperwork and orders, and they had 2 cats because South Street was very well known for a rat problem. And they had one cat who, now the business owner chose to have this rat or this cat, these 2 cats. One of them, his name was Raw. He was like the biggest cat I'd ever seen. And he looked like the god of the sun, named after him, or he was named after. And I would sit down below and he would be chewing on the rats. And he was the best cat ever. But there was another cat that was sitting there. I forget her name because she was such an annoyance, and she just laid there and was fed the food. It did not go after the cat. So she was this big, fat female cat that just laid around. So so
50% of the cats
kind of makes me wonder, right? They were from the same owner, and they were both offered the same amount of food, but the one cat loved chasing rats and chased all around. And actually, every company, every restaurant and bar had a cat for the rat problem. So there were a bunch of cats around, but only a couple of them actually laid around and got fat. and they just chose to. Interesting, right? But I do think that these cities have rat problems. My thought is, why don't you release snakes instead? Just kidding.
She's so evil. I hate snakes.
No, okay, so I did read about this because when you sent this, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to read into this more because I just delved into it for, a good 15, 20 minutes and got what I needed. It's actually a company that's been around for a long time, and they take care of these cats.
Okay, good.
So they do neuter them or spay them or whatever it's called. Things that I didn't do for my cat. And
Kristin's got kittens available in 6 to 8 weeks.
They're boys.
We'll
they're
bring
really
pictures
cute.
for next week's podcast.
But they do, and they check on them. So they're basically, they have...
They're performance-driven cats.
Well, they check on them. They make sure that they're being taken care of. They're not getting diseased. So yes, as
then that's good
a
news.
taxpayer, you are paying for this, but you're also getting rid of the rat problem, which became horrible. And I'm sure if we could call a Pied Piper upon us to, do this,
they would be all taking them out to the...
That would be amazing. But
lake.
instead, they have to, get these cats, which again, it's a program. It's kind of like the same program that has goats. So if you have land and it's hard to keep up with the grass, you can hire the goats that are all taken care of, and they go out and throw the goats up on your hill. And, like
everything.
Hollywood Hills has goats that take care of all of the, the grass so that someone doesn't have to mow it. So yeah,
Well,
it's the
that's more
same
interesting than the
type
actual
of
sign.
right. It's the same type of idea, but they do take care of them. They make sure they're vaccinated. They make sure they're clean. They make sure they're eating rats and not just eating food. I mean, I see where you're coming from with people feeding
thought it was
them,
interesting.
but they're also feral cats, so they don't run over. And if you are feeding them,
Stop it. Don't feed them. Let them kill the rats.
don't feed the alligators either. You really shouldn't feed anything that is roaming the streets and wild, because that's not good for them, and that's not good for you.
Unless it's us. We roam the streets and are wild, but we like food also. So,
but we can feed ourselves.
Yeah.
Just like Rob.
You can offer food, though. It's fine. We'll think about it. Yes. Well, Josh, who was I guess watching, got me good with the rat. We have an office rat, and that we use for practical jokes. And I know it was him.
Or rubber.
Yeah. So. Well, he got me good with the LaCroix box. I put my hand in there. I didn't know. Got me.
Nice. He knew you would be going for LaCroix.
That shook the building, I think, this morning. So it was pretty good. So thank you.
Good job, Josh. That was awesome.
You left a legacy. We appreciate it.
All right. We are at the end of our podcast. Thanks for hanging on. And did you know we have property management? We do. It's KNR Property Management. And if you need to go to hold of us with a property you want us to manage, then email rent@knrpm.com.
That's right. And if you're looking to get into real estate or looking for a change in the real estate industry, you can join our team by emailing us at join@buysellrebell.com.
And if you don't want to email us but want to be online and get social, we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, and you can go on our YouTube page for these videos and more.
That's right. Like and subscribe. Did you know that Rabell Realty Group has a blog? We do, and we post all kinds of fun things there. And you can find it at buysellrebell.com/blog.
And we always love to thank the Fiesta Media for this full podcast production. And if you want your own, there was that phone number. But come on here first. Get to know us. Get to know what it's like to be live weekly on Facebook and YouTube.
All right. Have a happy rest of your Monday, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.